Close enough. We are live.
All right, Kaiju no Kami review of King-Ohger episodes. What is it, 38 to 42? No, that's
39 to 42.
39 to 42. Take one.
Boop.
Well, go ahead. I'm rolling, man.
I know.
Your line is, "What's up, everyone? This is the Kaiju no Kami."
All right, retake. Boop. What's up, everyone? Kaiju no Kami here with
Cruellica Kain.
and the annoying.
Silver Quill. Happy New Year, everyone.
And we are here to talk about episodes 39 to 42 of King-Ohger.
39, 42. I don't hike.
Or as I call it, to have the title, A King's Worth of Lies.
Well, I call it, someone answer the phone, because we called it.
I was gonna say we called this like in the beginning of the series.
In the beginning, there was the prediction, and we were good.
So yeah, you deserve $100.
Oh, which I'm assuming this is counterfeit.
Well, do you think I really have
In
$10,000?
prop we trust.
Copy, yep. What,
See?
where does it
Woo,
say?
we're in the money.
Improper trust?
In
Nice.
prop we trust.
Ooh,
You do know you're going to have to clean this up.
I know.
money
So-
for nothing. And
the
Sensei
chips
for
for
free.
This is like how much ad revenue I get out of this video. It's worth this much.
I always wanted to do this.
Well, yeah, I kind of got to do that when we got rent.
Okay.
Of course, I only had $120 in my hand, so it was more just like individual bills, like
So,
flip, flip,
King-Ohger,
flip, flip.
we start off episode 39 with our recap saying that due to some stuff happened, but I'm not going to explain it. Just say that Rita got back
What?
the kingdom.
Some outrageous and scandalous
Mhm.
that I will omit for time.
And then we go into
Dosa.
this really visual, excessive heavy episode with them getting Scopa back.
For the second attempt is far more visual, but boy, what a fight scene!
It was. It was a pretty good fight scene. I actually enjoyed it, and I thought the CGI looked really good for it too.
For the most part.
Although my heart and my butt go out to the Big Lebowski.
Well, it did turn out to be like a sword thingy.
It did, but at first you've got to sort of, put out your hands, stick out your tush.
Well, okay.
Oh, yeah, with all the abilities they got for their bugs. Yeah, and then we had Yama was just kind of winging it.
Yep, just winging
Well,
it.
so was
Rita?
Rita.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile, Elizabeth
Himeno
Jimeno got a kick out of it.
got the best one with the scythe out of it.
Well, it was connected to her leg first.
But that's better than having something sticking out your tush.
Well, you know how many times people have been told to pull that stick out of your ass? He actually literally got to.
I'm just thinking he was going to be like Princess Peach of Smash Brothers, give a little booty boop.
But yeah, so we had a big battle. I liked at the beginning when Doug Dad,
Dig Dud. No,
Dad
Doug did.
is like, okay, if you're gonna take this seriously, you need to actually take it seriously. That's part of the fun. And then basically tortures them all, and they all go on their way. And we have horrible what did I do?
She's even getting remote choked. So he's pulling a Darth Vader right now. I found your lack of seriousness disturbing.
Well, and then we have our battle, and Horrible is like, help me, and then all of a sudden, our ninja guy switches sides, and he's like, wait, what? Boom, kaboom.
I think of all those heist movies when we start with this episode and go all the way down to the last episode we watched, 42, where we get little sprinklings of we're going to do this. And then in between all that you've seen, this is going on, this is going on, this is going on. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, that's one of the key things of storytelling is you never explain what your plan is and then have it follow that plan. That's terribly boring. Either the plan is a deception or the plan goes kerflooey. I believe those are the only two, general paths. Very general.
Well, I did like the fact that there were a lot of bait and switches that happened with it. So our first bait and switch, which I think we all called it pretty early on, was that there were these 6 little boxes that were supposed to be like the
Ultra
computers, which in all reality, in this day and age, these are practically ultra computers. But so to have like everybody get these ultra computers and then be told one of them is a dud. And I love when Himeno and Kaguragi are both like, aren't you going to tell us which one it is? And Yanma looks at both of them and he's like, if I told you which one was fake, you two wouldn't put any effort into it. And I'm like, wow.
And I like the one they said, yeah, that is true.
So this is the second most dysfunctional Sentai team I've witnessed. The first being Don Brothers.
Well, I like the fact that they all are aware of their faults and play up to them. So we learn in this episode, once again, that Kaguragi is still kind of a spy, which we always get. And then we get to see all of the ultra computers break to the point where Ultra Fanboy has the ultra computer.
Well, apparently they never really needed to do it. I mean, that was my prediction, that Fanboy would have the ultra computer and he was sneaking in while they caused the diversion. But nope, it was one better. We never needed it to begin with.
Yep. And then they had that really awesome looking fight. It had so much visual puke, though. Oh my god! I was like, oh my god, what is going on?
I did love the fact that when Rita flew up into the sky and did almost like this Final Fantasy move, where all of these swords come out and fly to the ground. I'm like, this is something you'd see in a video game.
Actually, I was thinking of Dot Hack GU, the movie, where Haseo summons an entire torrent of swords to strike at. I was expecting the King-Ohgers to pull those blades out of the ground and use them as weapons.
Well, it also reminds me, of the series that confuses you. Fate, because we watched
Fate
Zero.
I can't take it.
And
I cannot follow this.
And in Fate Zero, one of the storylines you haven't seen yet, Gilgamesh, in his ultra epic fighting move, has a wall of power right behind him, and every sword starts slowly coming out of this wall of power and starts going after everyone. And I'm like, this is why Gilgamesh is my favorite character.
Or
they make him a Bishojo.
Or I'm thinking of Final Fantasy VII when Cloud's using all the different swords.
Oh yes, but he had the 7.
But so we have our ninja dude gets destroyed, and it turns out it was all a plot that Rockley's came up with.
Because he wanted to become one of the jesters. Because since he's already the villain, he might as well double down.
Oh, I love, though, when Doug Dead puts his legs on his shoulders like,
he's dead because of you, isn't he?
I love it because Rockley's is like, yeah, I'm that good.
As a gesture to become a jester, I hope you won't sequester me.
But I did like how the fact that Doug Dead was like, all right, I'll make you a jester on one condition. You kill everyone, essentially.
And make it entertaining.
Yes. And then you see, progressively through the episodes, all of these little games and toys he does with dominoes and with like these like balls on hacky sacks and other things.
Well, and then, so our next episode, everyone is injured except Gira again. And then Gira keeps like falling over. Everyone is bandaged up and they're just crying in pain, especially Rita.
I love Rita's like feeling like it was gonna break all the windows with the sheer epicness of her scream.
I love her vision of the afterlife. It's not Jesus at the end of a tunnel. It's Mofun waving at the end of a hellscape.
Mofun is calling me to the next world.
But why is it all red? That's what I'm worried about. I'm sorry. I have a Christian upbringing. I tend to associate red landscape with hell. Is Mofun the devil?
Are you surprised?
That'd be more fun.
That would be something else.
Since Mofun was going to turn into a red Mofun soon.
Well, let's see here. I need to actually double check this. What is Mofun spelled backwards?
Nuffom.
Foam.
Nuffom. Nephemstopolis.
But and then so Gira goes out to fight the dead bugs, and we have Prince shows up for our little quick
Kyoto cameo.
King-Ohger, King-Ohger team up again because Gabatera had left with the King-Ohgers. Gabatera, and now he is. Prince has gone to find him.
Although,
retrieve him.
Although a little continuity hiccup. Daigo and the Gold Samurai, I forget his name.
Oh!
Mitsurugi?
I know what you're talking about.
They had left on the Purple Plesion rocket to go find Dead Doug. So why is Prince on there? Does that mean that Daigo returned back to Earth?
Probably.
Whoa! There might be something. Maybe there's a special coming out for
King-Ohger?
Yeah, that could.
I just think that Daigo suddenly had a different priority. I need to maintain the space-time continuity. We need to sire a child. So.
You mean go to lunch?
Yeah. Go to lunch with a long dessert. And don't bother with ordering for dinner.
Okay, we were just going to leave it with the Garo going to lunch analogy. You didn't have to go further.
Ami has now been seduced by predeterminism.
But we have that little tidbit.
She's throwing money at me. Ooh, stuff it down my pants.
Please don't.
Actually, I'm impressed at how you kept it all in one neat pile. This is actually very aerodynamic.
Thank you.
How do you throw it? Just tell me the right way. No, tell me the way.
I folded it a little bit.
Oh, you fold it a little bit.
No, the other way.
The other way? The other way.
No, squeezing it long way. Yes.
Long way.
Well, that ruined everything.
Oh, assaulted by money. We've had dreams of this.
I know.
Shut up.
I hope you get a paper cut.
Shut up and take our money. All our fake money. Some of which went in the garbage. Yes, we're so rich now. We can actually throw away $100.
I can literally burn money, but it will be fake money. So I'm not really burning money. I'm just burning the hopes and dreams of everyone.
This is what we'd like our YouTube channel to accomplish.
Shit!
I mean, that's not a condemnation of anyone out there.
Only you, by pledging $6 million a day, can help us become rich so that this can be actual real money. Anyway.
I don't know. Don't we have to raise a cult to get that much money?
Probably.
Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe I should do that. Might be better. It certainly would make more money than teaching.
Kaiju no culty.
But anyway, so
then
we have
I can't reach that.
Our little transmission of Rockleys and Doug Dead
Dig it, Doug.
making a public announcement revealing that apparently Gira was created by Doug Dead.
Which, this is going to really mess with the kids of Terra because the whole birds and the bees talk just went out the window. I'm the mommy and the daddy.
Okay, I got the whole original story of Cartman in my head when I heard that.
Oh my god!
And then 2, I was like, wow, the Republicans, if they watch this, would think it's the most woke experience ever. But at the end of it all, I have a couple of questions.
42.
Well, that's probably the answer because it is in space. But
And it does end in episode 42.
Space.
But first, did Doug Dead create him as a baby and have him grow up with Rockley's? Or was it that Gira already was alive, but Rockley's changed him with his powers?
From the way it was described based on that flashback scene, he would have created Gira when at that time when you saw Rockley's being talked to about when Doug Dead's like, so your parents are now dead, you're gonna do what I tell you to do.
But from one of the flashbacks, Gira was there enjoying Rainbow Juria while the prince was summoned. Prince Rockley's was summoned by his father. So I'd say it predates that.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Well, actually, you see,
I don't know, but it is a bit weird. The whole okay, was he lying? Was he? Yeah. What was it that he powered up?
But I do believe him that Gira, because Gira is different.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually gives an answer to a trope that I think you two sometimes get frustrated with on this whole Gary Stu thing. Of you have this character that's crazy powerful for absolutely no apparent reason.
Well, let me put it this way. They've done much better with Gira than they did with Rey in Star Wars.
Actually, I have a thought on that, but I'll save it for after we cover 42.
But I did appreciate that they kind of gave an answer to it, because even if he was a long-term game, let's say they gave that Gira was created from a baby, given to Rockley's father as a spare, so to speak.
Just in case this one doesn't work out.
Either if this one doesn't work out, or is kind of like a backup plan. Let's say they betray him or something. You have a ready-made human that can go into the throne because they've been raised as a prince.
Though Rockley's father must have done something to really piss Dead off to warrant placing that contingency. And props, well, okay, we're jumping ahead, but props to Rockley's for finding a way to turn it around.
But yeah, so then we have the announcement and them taking over. I did like when they were all when the Macs were like, wait a minute, I ain't nobody's bitch.
Well, I did appreciate that.
Which brings us to the topic of bowler hat guy.
Oh, you mean Donald Trump Jr.?
Well, here's the thing. There was again, I'm jumping ahead, but there was this one scene where Horrible. Well, she whispers in his ear. I'd be more forgiving with the guy if it turned out that she was always there whispering in his ear at every happenstance. Because otherwise, this guy has no will of his own. The first thing he hears, and he goes along with it. He's got no ability to analyze the situation.
Well, here's a question, though. If you think about it from a long-term perspective of Doug Dead essentially being around for all this time in the background.
I'm always watching.
Who's to say that outside of I can't remember laziness dude's name.
Which one?
Oh, Grody.
I don't know how I forgot Grody.
Grody.
Oh, that sucks. But
Thank you.
But anyways, with Grody, he's the only one who was essentially out of commission for the last 15 years. All the other ones were awake and capable. So who's not to say that they weren't playing around in the background?
Turns out the Yeti dude is actually the creator of Mofin.
That would be fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
Rita, I am Morphin's creator. That's not true. That's impossible. Ah!
But if you think about it, it is entirely possible that Horrible was there fucking around with different things.
Well, that's my hope for Boulder Guy.
Well, and
It's his only way to redeem his stupidity.
and honestly, even if that was the case, I still wouldn't find him redeemable.
Oh,
Because, in my opinion, think of like Kaguragi. He is so strong-willed. He is so snowblown by his own lies. He can't even get screwed over by a person who's lying in his ear. So it makes me think, like, with him, bowler hat guy, he is so weak-willed.
Well, I could be a little bit more merciful. Not everyone is going to be the Big Lebowski of the suplex power.
No, but if you think about it, with the way he is as a character, even if she was whispering in his ear all the time, I truly believe there were elements of who he is, of why he frustrates
he's
us.
Really that dumb.
That
He really is that dumb.
Well, either way, he far too reflects a very real world concern over the death of thought, and just the acceptance of whatever someone declares right away.
But at the end of this episode, at least for 39, right?
Yep.
No, we're at
So second episode is what?
40.
Okay, so episode 40. The one thing I do appreciate about the rest of the King-Ohgers is that they, no matter even hearing that essentially Gira is Luke Skywalker and his father is Darth Vader, they still stand by him.
in this case, it would be Rey and Palpatine.
Nevertheless, the fact that, well, I didn't think she was related to Palpatine.
She's a clone of Palpatine.
No. She's his kind of granddaughter, because a clone of Palpatine got with a lady and birthed Rey.
Yes.
So Palpatine is both her father and grandfather. Tonight on All My Jedis.
All I was thinking of is two different things. One,
You are your own grandfather?
Fry, and two, a JoJo's reference, the fact that Dio cuts off the head of Jonathan Joestar, sinks his head up with it, bangs a whole bunch of ladies, and has 6 kids. One of them becoming one of the JoJo's That's My Baby Boy, Jonah. Like, dude is 2 different people. Yes, that's you rubbing your head makes the exact sense for JoJo's.
Okay.
Well, no. We need to have a little come to anime Jeebus, i.e. Goku moment. You guys love to watch these highly complex storylines.
You watch Gundam too.
Gundam is rather straightforward by comparison. Kid,
Until you get all the new types in there.
you get all the new types.
The cyber new types. And
Full frontal.
But there's an on point. The first Gundam. Also, once again, come to Silver Quill's Mecha Orphanage. We'll have a pilot for you. But I mean, Fate and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I am adrift. I'm lost. I am in a sea of chaotic knowledge swirling around me with no island to hold on to. Woe is me. Oh. Okay. And see.
all right. So then in our next episode, our King-Ohgers go and attack the stuff. that does the stuff with the stuff.
Wow, that's very
Oh,
descriptive.
okay. Well, they have where they go into their kingdoms and sit on exploding whoopee
Yeah, I was gonna
cushions.
say, what the hell do they attack? They're sitting on their asses for half the episode
They're on their asses, and we get
with whoopee cushions.
Yep. I never realized that the whoopee cushion joke that took place between Rockleys and Blue Boy,
Yanma.
I never thought that would be plot critical.
You know, there was something I thought about that too, because it did take me back to one of my favorite parts of the story.
when you have Rockley's face when he sits on it in those flashbacks,
Yes.
or those what they think is going to happen.
Those
scenes.
what if scenarios. And this is once again proving why Rockley's is the goat of King-Ohger. Because that actor had to do so many ridiculously random things and sell it as authentic.
Well, for me, it'll always be Saint Gira rising from the grave, and his reaction just.
But so then we have Rockley's showing up and starting to kick Gira's ass.
But no, we have that. We have my favorite scene of the episode, though. They're going through the process, and, well, okay, two favorite scenes, sorry. First favorite scene. We have Horrible telling people to do random things. Well, only two people, at least. We have Ultra Fanboy tickling Yanma.
Which, boy,
when he's trying to disarm the bomb.
The context there, the undertones, are so strong.
And then we have Rita's assistant taking a giant her Mofen doll, and going to keep doing a James Bond scene of nearly dropping it into boiling water, talking as it for her.
Rita, come save me.
I'm about to turn red.
I'll be a red mofo. And you can tell Rita's really... yeah, stop it. No.
But my favorite scene is they're getting to near the end of disarming these bombs. And you have two, masked ninjas coming up behind Kagrugi saying, and Kagrugi is like, okay, I guess it's time then. Stands up! You see it just, burst into nothing with a little fish, and he walks away! And everybody's like, what the fuck?
Actually, they specifically said salmon.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Japanese culture and salmon.
Well, they have a Pikachu Day in Japan, so what's...
It's because of Christmas.
Let's see here.
The chicken salmon?
Mm-hmm.
Blue pot.
Although historically was consumed cooked, never raw. Huh. So salmon sushi is a rather new phenomenon.
Na-na-mana. Muppets? Wow. You were abused as a child.
We got to catch you up, sir.
But anyways, having him walk away and be like, okay, I need to go, and then look at the sword, and you're like, oh my God. The lands. And everybody's like, crap.
He played us again. Though Yanma, to his credit, is able to work through being tickled, which I imagine, look, if there was HR in Escopia, I'm pretty sure this would be quite the brouhaha. But either way, he not only gets everyone off the bombs, but next time we see him, yeah, we're on our way to clobber you.
He's just pissed.
Well, I love. He's like, okay, it's gonna be the blue wire. Actually snips the red.
Well, no, he says save blue for last.
And then
no, he was going to.
Yeah, he was going to cut the blue one because the last wire is when it's down to the last two.
I thought he was saying blue has to be the last, so it should be the last wire standing.
No.
I almost feel the need to call in a referee.
And then he
to do a rewind.
The red one because he was like,
the red by accident.
He's like,
because of the tickling, he got jerked.
Well, the undertones there.
But And then
no, Cruellica. Go on about how he's getting sure.
Well, it is a big circle
Go
jerk.
on.
But anyways, moving on, perv.
No. Let's talk about the length of his sword.
I think it's about 4 feet.
There we go.
But and then it also brings the question though: were there actually true bombs on those things?
No.
There may have been.
You think there were?
Yeah.
No. What it was questioning: were there actual bombs on there or not?
Yes, I would say yes. You see, here's the thing: the Big Lebowski does not do anything by half measures. He gives real poison to Rockley's. He fully commits to the act. Looks like he's going to destroy the King-Ohgers. Boom, boom, suplex, boom. So no, he would not do anything by half measures. And with Dead Doug always watching, you pretty much
that's true.
have to put in the bomb.
But in a way, I kind of feel like it's Schrodinger's
Bomb.
bomb.
That sounds way more metal and less animal cruelty.
But so, and then we have Rockley's has Gira on the ground and gets
Defeats Gira.
Dead Doug to give him the power to kill an immortal being. And
I like how he actually specifically says, not I want the power to kill Gira. I want the power to kill an immortal being.
And then on there is like, okay, he's about to turn around and slash at Dig Dug. Doug dead.
Dig a hole.
And then it's like, okay, when's it gonna happen? Oh, here it is. And Doug Dead's like, what? Wait, what?
And we're like, fine.
I know. I feel like I'm finally justified in my withstanding belief that he was a good guy all along.
All along.
Because there were so many times, like when he came back as, oh God, what's the brother's name in G Gundam?
Oh,
like Racer X type of thing.
Kyoji or Schwartz?
Schwartz.
Balda.
When he came in like Schwartz in a way.
I thought he came in like a wrecking ball.
All I thought was, okay, are you fucking with me now? Are we actually gonna have him as like a true big bad, and you just did this whole bait and switch with us where you made us think early on he was going to be a redeemable character and he comes back and he's completely irredeemable? Are you really doing this to us?
No.
And
then our next episode, which we had, was an interesting way. It was like we had the battle was very short, but it was all this. They managed to make a clip show, but have it be effective where it didn't feel like a clip show.
Because it's been the subtle story underneath the main story.
Which I like how he's like, okay, cool, you're coming to me. Well, just so you know, Rockley's and Gira are fighting Doug Dead, and you see everybody's faces like, wait, what?
And here, let me explain it all. Welcome to Dabowski Explains It All.
Well, I like we have the Suzume, why she was there the whole time over the coffin, like.
It made me feel better with her bad acting because I'm like.
Well, I mean, her fake crying is about as effective as her brother's.
Well, yeah.
I just wish that Dabowski could have done his patented.
But I like how you have the scene after he gets defeated by Gira, and he's just lying there, just like, oh, God, I feel pain in places that should not have pain. And you see, like, the elements of their relationship, and you're like, maybe they actually do love each other.
Well, they do, but it's been hard. But how often do sibling relationships work well in a Sentai?
No, I meant Suzume and Rockley's.
That. Oh, total shit, that. When he says, meeting you was probably the best luck I've ever had.
I know. I was like, oh my God. Rockley's actually does care for her. Which I kind of felt like there were times where you saw the genuine care. But you're like, well, it's Rockley's. You just don't know what they're doing with his character here. You could be.
For me, it was when she was asleep in front of his throne. He was like, I'll allow it.
I'm like, okay, maybe they're going to lunch.
Yes, lunch.
But
With a big straw.
But I like how when they're going you have both Kaguragi and him telling the story, and he even says when Gira shows up, it like throws everything into a curveball, and then he's like, "Well, as the king, always having the Batman-esque plan, I'm gonna weave this into my plan."
Oh, God. Are we going to enter the phrase of, because I'm Rockley?
Well, he does have that kind of voice near the end of like, "You better
So,
save everyone," and I can
do you
say it
think
really
Doug
cool with
Dead
my
is
loud
actually
voice.
dead?
Well, here's the thing. The episode 41, where they're talking, we really get the close-up where I can finally see that thing in Doug
Inside.
Dead's head and notice the royal cape on it. Then we see that figure in the explosion, which I'm like, does that mean that they only destroyed a body and not a consciousness? Or was it really the end of him? Because this Sentai is big on trading
Yeah.
head villains.
Well, it was kind of interesting because you see it blow up and then it like comes all the way back, and you have like this. You have the spaceship is kind of like
A second explosion.
a second explosion, but it did not look real. It looked like kind of 3D. So I thought the same thing.
And he's laughing rather than screaming at his end, which either he's enjoying this wonderful plot twist, or he's like, you really think this is it? Although this does actually get to the metaphysical thing. Can God produce a mountain big strong enough to impale himself upon?
Well, it
I thought it
depends.
was funny.
Well, to a degree, it depends because I always refer back to the story of Job because that was the point where he nearly did take a risk on impaling himself on that sword because he gambled and could have very well lost, like he did for Cain versus Abel.
Well, either way, a friend of mine had the best answer. I thought, God's smart enough to not try.
A god is not totally immortal.
Well,
Oh, now we're getting
They
into
can
it
still be killed. They never age.
with a small g.
No, any god.
Well, I do have a philosophy that God does not step in.
Mhm.
He is the everlasting hope.
They.
Well, for his analogy of God.
Capital H.
They're.
Okay, I believe in gods.
Yeah. No. Yes, but it's still.
He believes in one singular
Yes, but
God.
they're.
Now, if you get into the analogy of the angels, seraphim, and
it's-
all that.
Never mind.
But anyways, gods, any of the gods, but the Christian God, for example, or the Jewish God, depending on which one you want to go with, or the Muslim God.
Allah.
Allah is God.
That's why I just said Allah.
Yes. But anyways, they are hope, but it's man who gives them the contextualization of being a part of the process.
And it seems that, yes, I've opened a can of worms. I've brought in a philosophical and religious debate, the likes of which you shall enjoy a flame war like no other in your comments section.
No, we don't really
Get to
that.
it.
Flame wars, storage wars.
But at the end of it all, I don't see Doug Dead as a god. I've always looked at him as basically
A celestial being.
yeah, like an angel.
Wait, he's a Gundam? We're back to Gundam. Celestial being. You get a 00 for this job.
But nevertheless,
00.
Well, Doug Dead did create his own mech pilot.
you have to think at the same time, even if he is dead, this character, you still have the remaining gestures.
Well, that's what I'm curious to see, because I actually think it'd be really interesting if he actually is dead, and now we're going to have the jesters all fighting over
this vacuum.
replacing him.
And my bet is that if that is the case,
Yeti's going to win.
that's the visor guy who's been
No, that's the spy.
the spy. I kind of figured he'd be the one because he's been here through the whole thing.
Yeah.
His will be the most satisfying.
See, I feel he's going to be
The final boss.
Yes.
But I actually do now really want the Yeti guy to be, I created Mofu.
See, I truthfully feel of the 4 remaining jesters, even though Rockley's the Atrocious is an awesome name, I do feel of the 4 remaining jesters, the Yeti is actually, I stake my claim on him potentially
Turning good.
turning good.
Yes. He seems like he'd be the most likely candidate to turn good. I see the next one being taken out will be Jimenez, Scythe dude.
Grody.
Yes.
Yeah, we apparently forget names all the time.
Grody.
Even if we've said them multiple times.
We do, but I can't forget Grody. I
yeah.
just can't.
Grody will. I see Grody being the next target.
I actually see either Grody or Horrible. Like, I can see Horrible going first just because she
Has been the big pain.
has been the big pain, and you usually want to get rid of that wild card that is going to continuously cause problems before you take out any of the others, because Grody, admittedly, is just going to be sleeping for the most part, because his level of apathy is beyond even you.
But well,
What?
I wanted him to say whatever.
I was waiting for him to say whatever. I was very disappointed.
I know. It's like,
Yeah, I know. I was expecting it too.
I missed something.
she's saying his apathy is on par with your own. If you responded with whatever, like I don't care, perfect.
It would have been perfect.
Oh.
No, just next time.
Yeah, I was
Next time.
very disappointed because I even set it up perfectly. His level of apathy is nothing on you.
Okay.
And you're still not doing it. Like before, that was just a missed opportunity. Now you're just not doing it.
Now it's
purpose.
petulance.
Cool.
Wait, does this mean we can get a more positive kaiju out of all this?
Well, okay.
Hug?
I have to tell you something hilarious.
Hello?
I have to tell you something hilarious. What?
For what?
I do. What are you pointing at?
No.
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 What?
Let's stick on topic.
Okay, well, here's one other
That
thing.
is on topic.
There's two things of particular. How many episodes has it been without King-Ohger's advent? Because it only came back in episode 40, I believe. And we had gone through a pretty long stretch of no mech.
Well, people called the last batch No Mech November
No mech
because there was not a single mech battle in November's episodes.
So that is impressive.
Because the one with
Prince.
Prince was the first mech battle we had in the series since then, and
One more dance.
and then we had the next episode when they took out the big dude.
Yes. Well, several big dudes.
But I like the fact that they're not relying on the mechs to tell a story.
And they're not trying to force yet another mech. I mean, technically, Kyoruger's reissue is another way to make money.
Well, there are people upset though, blaming the Kyoto mech, why there's not a fourth big mech for this show.
It's okay to not have a fourth.
That's what I said. I'm like, you don't need every show to have 4 big mechs.
If anything, I I'm thinking of Kira Major and wondering why we never got. There was never an Ultimate Combiner. It was just a whole lot of new mechs. But either which way, thematically, this is the first time I feel like Super Sentai has danced into Kamen Rider mentality.
Oh no, go ahead.
But let us think of it this way. Usually in Super Sentai, it is opposing forces. Rainbow and imagination, darkness and stagnation. Alien invaders, Earth defenders. Evil witch, noble knights. So on.
Mm-hmm.
But here, the power is coming from the enemy. Essentially, they're tapping into the same thing. And that's often Kamen Rider's domain, using the same power as your enemy. And it's not so much the power is evil, it's how you choose to use it. And I appreciate that while Sentai became more aimed at a younger audience over time, I think, compared to what some of the older Sentai you've shown me, Kamen Rider has always been the more mature in that aspect. So I appreciate King-Ohger, and to a certain extent Dawn Brothers, is stepping into that maturity as well.
Well, the one thing so when we were watching episode 39, and we got to the point where Horrible was tied up, and they were talking like, "Oh yeah, we'll consider it of letting you go." And then afterwards, when she's still tied up, and they're like, "We never said we're heroes. We said we are crowns, warriors that hold crowns." And when they did their like final moves, yes, they switched places, but the fact that they were going to essentially kill.
Oh yeah, they're going for the kill.
But kill somebody who is unable to defend themselves.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
It was great storytelling, but I was like, and this is for kids.
Well, considering that even tied up, she is still a threat.
She's still a horrible being.
Well, no, I appreciate that. What surprised me, though, is when you think about it, knowing that Sentai, even notwithstanding the more mature shows that we've been getting and stuff like that, to have it where they were going to willfully, as leaders, take on, like, staining their hands with blood to get rid of someone, even though they couldn't fight back at that moment. I was like, wow, that is impactful, because
it's a far different cry from Q Ranger.
Because even with like Die Ranger, going back to the 90s, where when we were younger, obviously we didn't see Die Ranger when we were younger, but taking in a mindset of how old we would have been if we had originally watched it then, they did mature things, but they never went to the point of the hero saying, we're going to willingly stain our hands with blood. They still gave the villains a fighting chance. And I was like, this shows how different the world is, where you could have something like that on television and not scar children for life, compared to today, where compared to back then, if you did that, it probably would have scarred kids for life, because we had a very different perspective.
Back in my day, if a Sentai said they were going to kill you, by God, you better start digging a grave.
Well, I'm just thinking of the fact that technology has been this, well, technology, and maybe I'm looking at from more of American perspective. I don't know about school shootings in Japan. I doubt they have them, or they may, who knows. But
no, if you're Donald Trump, he told the parents that they just need to get over it today.
Oh no.
Or yesterday.
Well, okay, we're not going to get into politics right now.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
But the fact that kids are so much more like, that's fine, you're going to kill them. and you're going to kill her and she's not defending herself is so different than even back
Well,
then.
because it's also saying that they're not necessarily heroes; they're just warriors, as she put it.
Well, no,
Or whoever put it.
but it was just fascinating because generally they are considered heroes.
But anyway,
They're here in some ways. They're heroes who are just willing to take on a great burden.
so we only
I appreciate that they actually commit some weight to taking a life, even an enemy.
we got
Okay, so
Anthony Sarkis says hello. Thea Games 10 says hello.
Hello.
Anthony Sarkis said the Ninja Jester is voice actor Kazuhiro Yamaji, who was Emperor Yoda in Kira Major.
Oh, really? Emperor Yoda. I'm trying to remember which one that was.
The Emperor?
the guy with the folding faces.
Oh, that the girl was a part of.
Yes, Yodana. Black Sun says he hated the Idol episode. And then, yes, Minogon Moth is Tomikazu Seki, who, as we talked about this a while ago, with being Boldant in Old Ranger and BBW in Mega Ranger.
Well,
and
Seki has done so many of my anime voices.
Von
so.
Fennell and Escaflowne.
And he's actually still good looking for his age. So.
But I'm
Because
actually.
he's in his 50s.
That'll be us before.
But yeah, so good batch of episodes. Have 8 episodes left of the series.
Wow, only 8 episodes. This game of Sentai has been way more rewarding than Martin. I mean, I'm tempted to send like a George R. R. Martin a DVD with these burned in and say, "This is how you end a story.
This is how you tell a story."
I mean, well, you know, I love the Game of Thrones series, but it reflected at some point. It's been a decade since the last release
Has it?
of
Really?
books.
Of books.
Yeah, not the show, but the books.
Well, didn't the last book come out when the show was in its like first season?
Yeah, but it's not the last.
Well, that's what I mean. The last book to come
The
out.
most recent. But yeah, it's been close. I think a decade.
And now he's actually talking with the Japanese studio to do a Game of Thrones anime adaptation.
Nani? He's doing anything he can to avoid finishing the damn series. He knows a paycheck. Although there's a...
That's because he doesn't want to finish the series.
Folks, if you do a search on YouTube after you watch this stream of why Martin won't finish the books, there's actually a very hilarious skit on YouTube.
Because everyone hated his ending, so he doesn't want to finish the books now.
Well, I don't know if that was his ending.
Yeah, I consider it his ending. But anyway, so we had a lot of really good episodes. We've got 8 episodes left, probably 2, maybe 3 sessions left for us to watch.
And of course, Rita and Mofun. What will happen?
Boom, boom,
Will she ascend into the Mofun world of a red hellscape with a waving white figure at the end? I'm ascending.
All right. So click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else you guys are clicking to support us. You can support us on Patreon and Twitter at Toku AAN Network, and then Discord, Facebook, Instagram at Kaiju no Kami. You also check out our website, creativitybydesign.llc.com, and there's cool Kaiju no Kami merchandise at creativitybydesign.llc.com/shop, which also has a link in the description below. And then there's
MLP Silver Quill on Twitter, DeviantArt, and YouTube. Also, you can do a search for Silver Quill after the fact on YouTube, and you'll find me, which has links to my Patreon and Ko-fi.
Coffee Break!
And you can just find me on any of the videos.
There we go.
So, I lost my thought. But anyway, that's all we've got for this round.
Ooh. That's a wrap with that thingy.
Okay, this is a wrap. All right, right there.